In this module, we will be exploring how to write files using Node.js file system module. We will delve into the methods and options available for creating and writing content to files. The fs.writeFile method is used to asynchronously write data to a file, replacing the file if it already exists. The fs.writeFile function takes 3 arguments. First is the file name. Here it is, filename.txt. The second argument is the data to write to the file. Here it is, content. The third argument is a callback function that will be called after the file writing is completed. The callback function takes an error argument, which will be null if the file writing was successful, or an error object if there was an error. Inside the callback function, we check if there is an error. If there is an error, we log the error to the console. Otherwise, we log a message to the console indicating that the file was written successfully. The fs.writeFileSync method is used to synchronously write data to a file, replacing the file if it already exists. The fs.writeFileSync function takes 2 arguments. First is the file name. Here it is, filename.txt. The second argument is the data to write to the file. Here it is, content. Since this is a synchronous method, we use try catch block to handle any errors. Inside the try block, we call the fs.writeFileSync function. If there is an error, the catch block will be executed. Inside the catch block, we log the error to the console. If there is no error, we log a message to the console indicating that the file was written successfully. The fs.promises.writeFile method provides a promise-based approach to asynchronously writing data to a file. First, we require the file system module's promises API. We then define an asynchronous function called writeFile. Inside this function, we use a try catch block to handle any errors. Within the try block, we use the await keyword to wait for the fs.promises.writeFile function to complete. The fs.promises.writeFile function takes the file name and the content to be written as arguments. If the file writing is successful, we log a message to the console. If there is an error, the catch block will catch it and we log the error to the console. When writing files, you can customize the file creation behavior by providing an options object to the fs.writeFile method. This object can include properties such as encoding, mode, and flag. Here we define an options object with the encoding set to UTF-8, the mode set to 00666, and the flag set to W. These options are then passed to the fs.writeFile method along with the file name and data. If there is an error, we catch it and log it to the console. File flags are used to control how the file is opened for writing. Here are some of the common flags. The W flag opens the file for writing, overwriting the file if it already exists. The A flag opens the file for appending, which means that the data will be written to the end of the file. The WX flag opens the file for writing, but it fails if the file already exists. The AX flag opens the file for appending, but it fails if the file already exists. Proper error handling is crucial when working with file system operations. When an error occurs during file writing, it's important to catch and handle it appropriately. Here we are using the callback function of fs.writeFile to check for errors. If an error occurs, we log the error message and error code to the console, and then return. Otherwise, we log a success message. Let's look at a complete example of file writing implementation. First, we require the fs and path modules. We then define the file path using the path.join method, which joins the current directory with the output.txt file name. We also define the content that we want to write to the file. Finally, we call the fs.writeFile method with the file path, content, and encoding as arguments. If there is an error, we throw it. Otherwise, we log a success message to the console. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.